A very good evening to all 12th standard students of St. John's. We are in chapter 7, differential calculus and its applications. And we have completed first two exercises. Differentiation means rate of change of a certain thing with respect to some other thing. For example, dx by dt, where if x represents displacement, means rate of change of displacement with respect to time. That is the meaning of dx by dt, which is called velocity. Again, acceleration means rate of change of velocity. So rate of change of particles is what we are discussing in this chapter. Now, before going into the next exercise, we will see some theory parts. Rather to say theory part, three theorems that we are going to look at. So using these three theorems only, we are going to see the problems. So as I say, theory part means you should look at, or you should listen even more with care. You have to listen and try to understand it completely, so that problems, when I explain, you will easily understand. So give more importance for theory class, and the formulas, whatever formulas I ask you to read it immediately. Now, first theorem, the general heading is mean value theorem, out of which the first one is intermediate value theorem. This may be asked in 2 marks also. State intermediate value theorem means you should write this. First we will read the definition, that is the theorem, statement of the theorem. If f is continuous on a closed interval a comma b, f means it is a function. Continuous means when we draw the function in a graph, the graph should not break. It should be continuous. The diagram should be continuous. There should not be any break within this interval. Then the graph is called, then that function is called continuous. So if f is continuous on a closed interval a comma b, and c is any number between f of a and f of b. F of a means the function value at a. F of b means the function value at b. And if c is any number between these two, then there is at least one number x in the closed interval a comma b. There is a number in this interval such that f of x is equal to c. This is called intermediate value theorem. Again I repeat, what is the condition? F should be continuous on a closed interval a comma b. C is a number between f of a and f of b. Inclusive means the endpoints are included. Even it can be equal to f of a, or even it can be equal to f of b also. Inclusive means including these two, it may be any number between these two. Try to understand clearly. F is a continuous function on a closed interval a comma b. That is the first condition. The second condition is c should be any number between these two, or c may be equal to these two also. It may be equal to this or that, or even it may be a number between these two. If these conditions are satisfied, then we can able to find a number x within this interval a comma b, such that if we substitute that value in the function, the answer is c. If you see what is c, c is a number between these two. I think somehow you will understand now. If you want, I can explain it once again. F is a continuous function, that is the first condition, on the closed interval a comma b. C should be any number between f of a and f of b. Inclusive means it may be equal to this, or even it may be equal to this f of b, or even it may be any number between these two also. C is any number between these two. Then we can able to find a number in the closed interval a comma b, such that if we f of x equal to the c. So this is guaranteed. So this is the result actually. This result is called intermediate value theorem. Next we will see Rolle's theorem, the statement of Rolle's theorem. Let f of x be continuous on a closed interval a comma b and a differentiable on the open interval a comma b if f of a is equal to f of b. So for Rolle's theorem we are having three conditions. For intermediate value theorem we had two conditions. One is f is continuous on closed interval. Second, c should be any number between f of a and f of b. Then this is the result. In Rolle's theorem, first condition is f of x should be continuous on the closed interval a comma b. I already told the meaning of continuous. Continuous means when we draw the graph of the function, the graph should be continuous. There should not be any break between this interval. If you want me to draw the diagram, suppose for example continuous meaning, if this is the graph and suppose this is the interval a and b, and the graph, if you see the graph within this interval, the graph should not have any break. That is called continuous. Even it may have some break here, then also it can be called as continuous in the closed interval a comma b. So within this interval the graph should not have any break in between, then it is called continuous. So f of x should be continuous on a closed interval a comma b and differentiable on the open interval a comma b. The meaning for this is, suppose it is given f of x is the function. Differentiable means I should be able to differentiate this function f of x. Suppose if I am finding f of x, that f of x should have value within this interval. For example, suppose if f of x is equal to, for example, I am taking x square, then what is f dash of x? F dash of x, if you see, what will be the answer? F dash of x is equal to 2x, right? If f of x is equal to x square, f dash of x will be equal to 2x. And suppose this interval a comma b, for example, I am taking a comma b, we are taking as 4 comma 6, for example. Now I can say f of x is differentiable in 4 comma 6 because f dash of x is 2x and this 2x is having some value within this interval. Even if I put 4.1, I have some answer. 4.5, 4.9, 5.9, 5.96, any value if I put, f dash of x is going to give one answer. So that is called differentiable on the open interval a comma b. So what is the meaning of differentiable? We should be able to differentiate and that differentiation answer should have value between the given interval, in the given interval. Then it is called differentiable. So Rolle's theorem, first condition is the function should be continuous on the closed interval. Second condition is differentiable on the open interval a comma b. The third condition is f of a and f of b should be equal, which means the function value at the endpoints should be equal. Endpoints is what? A is one endpoint, b is the other endpoint. There the function value must be equal. So Rolle's theorem needs to satisfy three conditions. First one is continuous, closed interval. Second one, differentiable, open interval. Third, at the endpoints function value should be equal. If these three conditions are satisfied, then there is at least one point C inside a comma b, inside the open interval a comma b. What is the meaning? We can able to find a number between a and b, that number is denoted as C, such that where at that point the first derivative becomes 0. That is f dash of C becomes 0. So we are spending a lot of time in stating the theorem itself, because using the theorem only we are going to solve the problem. If f of a is first, what is the first condition? Continuous in the closed interval. Second one, differentiable in the open interval. Third one, at the endpoints function value should be equal. If these three conditions are satisfied, then we can say, then Rolle's theorem gives us a guarantee that there is one point, definitely there will be a one point in this interval a to b where at that point the first derivative becomes 0. What is first derivative? F dash of x. In place of x, if you put c, that value will become 0. So this is called Rolle's theorem. Now we will go and see the third theorem. We'll see the third theorem now. The third one, Lagrange's mean value theorem, or even simply called as Lagrange's theorem. What is the first theorem we saw? Intermediate value theorem. And second one is Rolle's theorem. Third one is Lagrange's theorem or Lagrange's mean value theorem. General heading is mean value theorem only. So the statement is, let f of x be continuous in a closed interval a comma b and differentiable in the open interval a comma b. Then, so which means Lagrange's theorem has two conditions. It should satisfy two conditions. First one is the function should be continuous in the closed interval a comma b. Second condition is the function should be differentiable in the open interval a comma b. If these two conditions are there, then this Lagrange's theorem gives us a guarantee that then there exists at least one point in the interval a comma b, in the open interval a comma b. What does it say? Then there is one point, we can able to find one point within this interval such that if we calculate first derivative at that point, f dash of c is equal to f of b minus f of a by b minus a, then that value will be equal to this value. What is f of b? Function value at this endpoint minus function value at this endpoint divided by b minus a. This f dash of c will be equal to this. That is what the Lagrange's theorem says. I think you will understand this. Almost if you see this, this is very close to Rolle's theorem because almost the conditions are same as the Rolle's theorem, but Rolle's theorem has additionally one more condition called f of a is equal to f of b. But here it is not the case. Only two conditions. If two conditions are there, we can able to find c in open interval a comma b such that c will satisfy this condition. F dash of c is equal to f of b minus f of a by b minus a. So what you have to do is read all the theorem and keep it in your mind. What are the three theorems that we have seen? Intermediate value theorem, Rolle's theorem, and then finally Lagrange's mean value theorem. All are called mean value theorem because we are trying to find some number between a and b. So that is why the general name is given as mean value theorem. Okay, with all these things we will enter into the problem part, but you should first read all the theorems, then you enter into the problem part, right? Question number 18. Explain why Rolle's theorem is not applicable to f of x is equal to tan x, where x belongs to the closed interval 0, pi. Again I repeat, explain why Rolle's theorem is not applicable to f of x is equal to tan x, where x belongs to closed interval 0, pi. The question is very simple. They themselves have said the theorem is not applicable. They are asking why. Why the Rolle's theorem cannot be applied for this function? That is the question they are asking. What we know about Rolle's theorem? Rolle's theorem means the function should satisfy three conditions. What are they? The first one, out of the three conditions, what is the first one? It should be f is continuous on the closed interval a comma b, differentiable on the open interval a comma b. At the endpoints, the function value must be same. But the given function is tan x, f of x is equal to tan x, and the interval given is 0, pi. Right. Now I am writing here clearly f of x is not continuous at x is equal to 90 degree. Pi by 2 means 90 degree. Why we are telling this? Because when we put x is equal to 90 degree in the function, it becomes tan 90 degree. Tan 90 degree answer is infinity. So we cannot draw the graph at this point. At which point? Pi by 2. Actually, so if I put x in place of x, if I put pi by 2, graph cannot be drawn at that point. But pi by 2 is a point within this what? Interval 0 comma pi. Suppose if we want me to draw the diagram, if x-axis and y-axis are like this is 0 and this is called pi, for example, this is 0 to, so this is our given interval. So if we draw the tan graph here, we know tan 0 is 0, tan 30 is 1 by root 3, right? So almost if the graph, suppose if the graph is going like this, and if this is the point pi by 2 which is between 0 and pi by 2, at this point we cannot draw the graph over this because tan 90 becomes infinity. So there will be a break here at pi by 2. So I cannot say the graph is continuous because it is having a break at a point pi by 2. So only we are telling that at pi by 2 the function or this graph is not continuous. The function is not continuous. That is why I am writing clearly f of x is not continuous at which point? Pi by 2, and that pi by 2 lies in this interval 0 to pi, 90 degree. 90 degree definitely is in between 0 to 180, right? So the graph is not continuous within this interval. Therefore, first condition of Rolle's theorem itself fails. Therefore, Rolle's theorem cannot be applied, or Rolle's theorem is not applicable. Try to understand the meaning. Rolle's theorem means it should satisfy 3 conditions. Out of 3 conditions, if any one fails, Rolle's theorem cannot be applied. Even if the first 2 conditions are satisfied and the third condition fails, then also Rolle's theorem cannot be applied. So keep this in your mind. Very simple problem only. We should know the meaning of it. Moving to the next sum. Question number 19. Using Rolle's theorem, determine the values of x at which the tangent is parallel to x-axis. And the function given is f of x is equal to this, where x belongs to closed interval minus 1 comma 6. So what is the question? We have to use Rolle's theorem to determine value of x at which means at this point the tangent should be parallel to x-axis. The tangent is parallel to x-axis. Always keep in your mind, parallel to x-axis means horizontal line, and we know very well horizontal line means slope should be equal to 0. Even in the previous class we discussed this. If a horizontal line is there, definitely the slope will be equal to 0. And what we have to find here is we need to determine the value of x where the tangent is parallel to x-axis. Since the tangent is parallel to x-axis, the tangent should be horizontal. Therefore, the slope of the tangent should be 0. Again, if you remember, slope is nothing but dy by dx, right? Slope means dy by dx. So dy by dx should be equal to 0 because slope should be equal to 0. Okay, now we will just see the answer for this problem. This is the function given. So f of x is equal to the function given. And we are differentiating this. Why? Because dy by dx is nothing but slope. So we are trying to find the slope. F dash of x means we are trying to find the slope of this curve. What is the formula that we are using here? U by v method. Differentiation formula we are applying, u by v. What is the formula says? V into u dash minus u into v dash divided by v square, and that is the formula. So see, the numerator is called u, denominator is v. So v square means denominator square. This is v. U dash means differentiate numerator, 2x minus 2 minus u into, if differentiating the denominator, x becomes 1, 2 becomes 0, so 1. So what we are doing? Differentiating using u by v method. So after just writing the denominator and multiplying these terms inside and simplifying, we are getting like this. Cancelling, we are getting like this. So I am equating f dash of x equal to 0 because I want the tangent should be parallel to x-axis, which means slope should be equal to 0. Slope means first derivative is called slope. Even if you want me, I will write here f dash of x. What is the meaning for this? We are trying to find the slope. Right. Now we are equating f dash of x equal to 0. Then what happens? This is f dash of x. This is equal to 0. Cross multiplying. So this comes. A value is 1, B value is 4, C value is minus 4. This cannot be factorized directly. So we are using this formula. X equal to minus B plus or minus root of B square minus 4AC by 2A. In substituting that, you are getting this answer. X is equal to minus 2 plus or minus 2 root 2. And if you simplify and see this answers, root 2 value is 1.414. So multiply 2 with 1.414 and minus 2 plus this definitely will lie between this value. Similarly, even if I take minus 2 root 2, that also lies in this interval. So two values are taken because both the values lies within this interval. Because it is given in the question, the interval is minus 1, 6. The two values lies within this interval. So we can say instead of finding 1 point, now we found out 2 points. With what condition we found out this point? First derivative 0. First derivative 0 means what is the meaning? The slope is 0. Slope is 0 means what is the meaning? The tangent is parallel to x-axis. That is the given condition. The tangent should be parallel to x-axis. So with that condition, we found out the points. The question is determine the point. That is determine the values of x. The values of x are two values. Minus 2 plus 2 root 2. Other one is minus 2 root 2. At those 2 points, the tangent will be parallel to x-axis. Why? Because at those points, slope is 0. So you should be very careful in what I am telling. So you should observe it carefully, then only you will understand. The concept is, if the tangent is parallel to x-axis, the tangent should be horizontal. So slope should be equal to 0. Slope means what is the meaning? F dash of x should be equal to 0. That is why we are finding f dash of x and making it equal to 0 and finding out x value. At this x values, slope of the tangent will be parallel to x-axis. That is the meaning. Going to the next sum. Sum number 20. Explain why Lagrange's mean value theorem is not applicable to f of x. One function is given, an interval is also given. Same as in the case of Rolle's theorem. Here we have to say why this function, for this function, Lagrange's theorem cannot be applied. Lagrange theorem means two conditions, right? First one is continuous in the closed interval. Second one is differentiable in the open interval. These are the two conditions for Lagrange theorem. So first we are writing this function f of x. By clearly seeing this, we can easily identify, since denominator is having x, denominator should not be equal to 0. Because if it is 0, then the function value will go to infinity. But 0 present in this interval. Minus 1 to 2 means definitely 0 will be present in this interval. So we are writing clearly the function is not continuous at x equal to 0. Because if x is 0 is substituted here, f of x will become infinity. So when we draw the graph at the point x equal to 0, we cannot draw the graph because answer is infinity. So the graph will break there. Break at where? X equal to 0. So the function is not continuous at x equal to 0, which means the first condition fails. Therefore Lagrange theorem is not applicable. Next sum, 21st sum. Using the Lagrange's mean value theorem, determine the values of x at which the tangent is parallel to the secant line at the endpoints. So if we see problem number 19, there they are asked tangent is parallel to x-axis, right? The same way when they ask for Lagrange's theorem, they will be asking the tangent is parallel to the secant line. We will see what is the meaning of secant line later. But what we have to do is what we did in Rolle's theorem. In the same way we have to do here. What is the difference in the question? There they will ask the tangent is parallel to x-axis. Here they will be asking you the tangent is parallel to the secant line. So what we have to do actually, function will be given to us. We have to take that function and differentiate it. How to differentiate this? 3x square minus 3. So that is what is written here, f dash of x equal to 3x square minus 3. And before that, since we are using Lagrange theorem, they are asking us to use Lagrange's mean value theorem. By seeing this itself, every polynomial function is continuous, that we should know. This function is continuous. Continuous means differentiable. X cube minus 3x plus 2. So any polynomial function is given means we can say that it is both continuous as well as differentiable. So we can apply Lagrange theorem directly. Since the interval is given like this is a value and this is b value. We are trying to find out the values at the end points, that is f of minus 2. Substitute this in the function and find out one answer 0. Substitute the right end value 2 and get the value as 4. So after writing all these things, we are writing Lagrange theorem formula. Why we are applying Lagrange theorem formula? Because this function is continuous as well as differentiable in this interval. So f dash of c formula is this, right? Lagrange theorem formula is this, in which f of b means this is a, this is b. So f of 2 is 4 minus f of a means this 0 by b minus a 2 minus of minus 2 plus 2. 4 cancel, 1 is the answer. So what is 1 actually? F dash of c. F dash of c is equal to 1. Taking this as equation number 1. Now actually we are trying to find f dash of x. Differentiating this, we will get this. Implies, replace in place of x you put c. F dash of c. Again this x will become c. It's 3c square minus 3. And if you compare, take this as second equation. F dash of c is 1. F dash of c is this. So both are same. So we can equate these two. So I am equating that 3c square minus 3 equal to 1. Minus 3 comes this side, becomes 4. 4 by 3. Square goes to other side, square root. 4 will become 2. 3 will become root 3 with plus or minus symbol. Again if we see, root 3 is 1.732, right? When we divide, the answer comes within this interval. Even minus 2 by root 3, answer comes within this interval. So we found out 2 points. They are asking us to determine the values of x. So 2 values are there for x. One is plus 2 by root 3. Other one is minus 2 by root 3. So what is the difference in the question? If it is Rolle's theorem, they will be asking tangent is parallel to x-axis. If it is Lagrange, they will be asking tangent is parallel to the secant line. Both means we need to find c value. There also we would have found out x value. Here also c value. C is nothing but some value for x. What we are doing? Using Lagrange theorem, we found out f dash of c. Differentiating and finding out f dash of c. Equating these two and getting c value. Next sum. Problem number 22. A race car driver is racing at 20th kilometer. If his speed never exceeds 150 km per hour, what is the maximum distance he can cover in the next 2 hours? Question is very clear. Now the car driver is at 20th kilometer. Now he has already covered what? 20th kilometer. The speed is, he never is going to exceed this speed, 150. Always he should be less than or equal to 150 km speed. He drives the car. What is the maximum distance that he will cover in the next 2 hours? That is the question. What we are going to do is, we are going to apply Lagrange theorem for this sum, and we will try to find out the answer. Here the interval is 0 to 2. It is not given in the question. We are writing this. Why we are writing 0, 2 means 0 means starting point. already he is in 20th kilometer. This is the starting point, 0. We want next 2 hours, so this is 2. So this is nothing but time interval, 0 to 2 hours. That is the interval that we are taking. Clearly f of x is continuous because the car graph will don't have any break in between these two, right? Because it keeps on moving. So as it is differentiable also because there is a continuous change, yes or no, in the function. There is continuous change for each and every second. There is a change in the distance. So it is differentiable. So the function is continuous as well as differentiable. Try to understand why I am telling continuous and differentiable. Since these two conditions are satisfied, we can apply Lagrange theorem. So this is called Lagrange theorem, right? We can able to find C in this interval such that f dash of C satisfies this condition, f of b minus f of a by b minus a. Now f dash of C equal to f of b means what is the meaning? This is b, right? So since this is the interval, this is called a and this is nothing but b. So f of b means f of 2 minus f of a means f of 0. At starting point already he covered 20th kilometer. So f of a, in place of f of a we are writing 20 because f of 0 is 20. At the starting point the driver is already at 20th kilometer. So 20 by b minus a means 2 minus 0, it is 2. So this result is obtained using Lagrange theorem, that is taken as equation number 1. Now it is given in the question, speed of this driver never exceeds 150 km per hour, right? Speed never exceeds this, which means first derivative is always lesser than or equal to 150, because in this sum first derivative means speed, velocity. Here the first derivative means what is the meaning? Speed of the vehicle. The speed of the vehicle does not exceed 150. It is always lesser than or equal to 150. So what I am doing is, in place of x, even if I put c, because c lies within this interval, right? So that also will be less than or equal to 150 because this first derivative is always lesser than or equal to 150. Therefore, if I replace x in place of x, if I replace c, that is also less than or equal to 150. Now what is f dash of c value? This one, using first equation, f dash of c is this. Substitute in place of f dash of c, you put this answer, less than or equal to 150. Cross multiply, 300 minus 20 comes this side, plus 20, so 320. What is the meaning? F of 2 is less than or equal to 320. They are asking what is the maximum distance he can cover in next 2 hours. So the maximum distance he can cover in the next 2 hours is 320 kilometer or less than that. So the maximum distance he can cover in the next 2 hours is 320 kilometer. We will continue the next sum in the next video, right?